I have heard a few people that I know, females particularly, that said that when they actually got out of the Army, they got hired in a better position than some of their male co-workers or whatnot, because everything they learned in the Army, it goes on your resume. Every time you go to a school, whether it's military or civilian classes, everything that you're trained, you get a certificate for, say you passed it or you failed it or whatnot. All of that stuff can go on your resume. And the females that I know, they're pretty smart. They put everything that they learned in the military, in the Army specifically, on their resume. Therefore, they were hired over their male comrades. So, me, I think it's an even playing field as far as when you're looking for jobs, but it's that little extra things that you did while you were in the Army that's going to get you a lot further than if you would have never taken that typing class. We all know now is more technologically advanced society. We need typing. Most of the men, I don't think, would take a typing class just to take it, you know. Whereas a lot of females, hey, I might need that typing class, I'm going to go take it. You're going to get a certificate. Therefore, that's something else you put on your resume. So when I think about getting out of the Army, I think about all the things that I can attend while I'm in, as far as military or civilian classes, that's going to give me that little extra nudge when I get out in the civilian world and start looking for a job.
So what about those females that weren't as serious as you, that, you know, I wouldn't say slack, but, you know, aren't with that same focus?
Right.
What would the Army do to help them from employment?
Once you're getting out of the Army, they have ACAP classes. I can't remember the acronym.
I don't know what it stands for either.
Yeah, I can't remember what the acronym stands for. It's basically where you are getting ready to get out of the military, and it's kind of like a transition from military life to civilian life. They have somebody there that helps you build your resume, that helps you look for a job. They train you, give you little techniques of what your civilian employers are looking for, things of that nature that's going to help you look and get hired when you get out of the Army. So when you get out, it's not that the Army is just going to say, oh, we're done with you, call it a day. You're going to be military the 17th and the 18th, you're done. We don't do that. The Army actually transitions you over a time period to transition you from being a soldier back into the civilian world. So I do think if some of the females take advantage of that, then yes, it will put you ahead of your male coworkers.
In consideration of the fact that, I mean, they came out of like wars, they, you know, that's kind of take a toll on your mind. Like, you know, for the workforce, I mean, it'll be hard to focus on so many things when you're seeing, you know, certain things on the battlefield.
Right, but when it comes to getting out of the Army, I don't think you're going to go straight from the war. This is my personal opinion. Straight from that that situation straight into civilian life without some sort of transition. So you got to take advantage of the Wounded Warriors Project, take advantage of the ACAP, take advantage of all the military and the civilian college that's out there, all the treatments that are available for those that might have PTSD or things of that nature before you transition out into the civilian world. Because once you're out in the civilian world, it's a whole new ballgame, you know. So that's what I think about.
There's every soldier that comes back from a deployment to a war zone is required by the Army to get screened. You have to take a health assessment. And part of that health assessment is going to be talking to a mental health specialist. And they're going to start probing you for PTSD and, you know, stuff like that. The things that you're talking about, flashbacks and issues like that, they ask. There's a whole list of questions that they ask about, you know, do you think about this, and how do you think about that, and how do you feel about this? And they do this health assessment. There's two. They do one right when you get back, and I believe they do one year after you're back. And every soldier is required to do it. So they try, and some people, they have these problems, and they don't want to talk about it. They don't want to go tell anybody about them. And this is out in the world. This is everywhere. This isn't just in the Army. So they do probe for it. They try and pick it up in people, and they want it because they want to help you. They don't want to send you out into the civilian world to fail. And that's I know that your focus is on female soldiers with that question, but this is the common theme is going to be that female soldiers and male soldiers are treated equally. And no, whatever a female soldier is going to receive, a male soldier is going to receive the same thing, and vice versa.
But as far as like some of those services that men would require that females do, like gynecological services and OB services, for example, somebody could come back from deployment and get pregnant. Not necessarily saying they get pregnant over there, but these are additional services that we have that the males don't. And these are all provided to us before, for the whole time we're in this service. The VA, if the VA doesn't have that service, then we seek out elsewhere outside in that larger community that I was talking about. Emotional services, and we all know females are more emotional than males. Well, most of the one, yeah, most of them, some of them. We get a little bit more services as far as the mental health or whatnot in order to make us survive, go back to the person that we were before we went to that situation, or at least close to that. But every service that we need, regardless whether it's a male or a female, it's all provided to us. There is always a way to get that service.
On that note, what are some things that you think the VA needs to change? Or some areas that you think needs a little bit of tweaking, like maybe they need a little more doctors to work with a certain area, like a certain group of people.
Yeah.
Honestly, I really have never used the OB services or the GYN services at the VA, so I really can't comment on that. And most of the females that I've ever talked to that have used any female services that were specifically tailored to a female, I think they all say they were pretty good. So, I mean, we all have areas that we think could be tweaked. A little bit faster service, or a little bit more, one or two more doctors in certain places, but specifically where I think they would be, I have no idea.
Would you relive your military experience, or would you choose another occupation?
I mean, like if I had to do all over again, oh no, I would do this in a heartbeat. I would. This has been a very good experience for me. I wish that I had started college earlier, but the Army is paying for it now. That's probably the only thing that I would change. I am of the mind that everybody should do this for a year or two. Everybody should check it out. The way the Army is set up now, I mean, you can join for 2 years and get out and go on about your life. It provides discipline, it provides respect, it provides, it amplifies any moral core values that you would have gotten growing up. And it really does, I really do feel that the Army they expect more of me than is expected of your average guy working at McDonald's. You know, even some of the more professional corporations and companies. I feel that I am expected to be more of a professional. And I think that when I get out of the Army and I go into the workforce, that is going to be something that they look at very, very seriously. You know, I'm never late. I'm always on time. The Army has ingrained that into me. And you have some professionals wearing business suits making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year that couldn't be late to save their lives in their $400,000 cars. You know, I feel that what the Army has given me is irreplaceable. And if I knew what I knew now, and I was, you know, I woke up tomorrow and I was 18 years old again, I would go right to my recruiter.
Sergeant Blue?
I feel the same way. If I had it to do all over again, I would do it in a heartbeat. There's a couple things I would tweak, you know, I would try not to make that mistake twice, you know. But other than that, I think it's a valuable lesson that I've learned of being a soldier. This is just something you can't get being a civilian. You have to take that initial step and say, yes, I want to be a soldier, whether it's the Army, the Marines, whatever branch of service. I feel that everybody should do some branch of service, whether it's Coast Guard, whatever, for 2 years minimum. That's my personal belief. I feel that freedom isn't free, and we all should provide something, and that would be everybody's little thing they did, provide 2 years.